With cast mag wheels, clip-on bars and a Kickstarter is the only way to fire it up, you could be mistaken for thinking that this bike is right out of the 70s. And in a way you're right. But you wouldn't be mistaken in thinking that this bike is actually the new Yamaha SR400.
This is what the standard SR400 looks like. It's a classic design and a timeless style. A beautiful machine in its own right. However, it doesn't actually have to be this way. There's lots of bike builders that are making lots of different parts and coming up with so many different ideas to produce something that's different. You can take an SR400 that looks like this and turn it into something that looks like this very easily. So let's take a look at the bike. It has a single cylinder 399cc engine which is air and oil cooled. It weighs about 174 kilos wet with a 298mm single hydraulic disc on the front and a drum brake on the rear. There's 18-inch wheels at each end and it's kickstart only. The kickstart has a decompression lever which manually opens the exhaust valve, and a mark on the rocker cover of the engine lets you know when the piston is in the right spot to start.
This custom Yamaha SR400 has been built by Yamaha in Sydney. It features plenty of custom parts. There's the clip-on bars, the gum grips, LED indicators, cafe-styled seat, short shocks on the rear, cast mag wheels. All up, there's about $5,000 worth of parts put onto this bike, but that's just an example of what you can do with a bike like this. The best part is all of the parts are bolted on, which means you don't have to make any modifications or grind any bits off.
So what's this bike like to ride? Well, it's really easy. The single cylinder has a long stroke, which means that it'll thump away easy at low revs. It takes a bit of effort to stall, and it's easy to start if you know how to do it. The clip-on bars make steering feel a little bit heavy, and depending on where you sit on the solo seat, your knees can sometimes get in the way of the bars turning at low speeds. It stops pretty well for a single disc. I've got an old single from the late 70s in the garage which doesn't have the best brakes after 35 years, and this gave me confidence on the SR400. Like I said earlier, it revs fairly low, but it does love a good squirt, and it really comes into its own when you give it some. Going into corners a gear lower than normal will bring out a big smile, and it's just as easy to get around if you want to cruise up a gear.
I've had an absolute blast on the Yamaha SR400. It really is so easy to ride. Learners are going to absolutely love it. It turns so many heads. Hipsters love it. Even the old guys love it. It was a modern classic in 1978, and I think for under 10 grand, it'll be a modern classic today.